Meanwhile, humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers left South Africa for the Gaza Strip this week with 16 tons of emergency medical supplies. The organization has been granted permission to take medical teams, equipment and ambulances. However, SABC News understands that they have not yet entered Gaza and are still waiting to be allowed in. Hundreds of people have died in Gaza since Israel started an offensive against Hamas militants early last month. Now, to tell us more about this trip, we are joined on the line from Egypt by the founder, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman. Doctor, good morning to you and welcome to AM News.
Good morning to you.
Now, you left on Tuesday, Doctor. Why are you still not in Gaza?
We were supposed to leave for Gaza. Well, we got here Wednesday, so it was not possible to leave on Wednesday. The border closes at 2 o'clock, so it wasn't practical to go yesterday, and we had to sort out some more paperwork in Egypt. But we were supposed to leave this morning at 3 a.m., and the teams were ready, got to bed, and suddenly at 9:15, I got a call from the Egyptian ambassador to South Africa. He says, please don't leave for Rafah today, or tomorrow morning. So I said, why? He said, but your name is not on the list. They will stop you on the way to the ferry. So I said, why should they stop me? He said, because it takes 48 hours for the names to be cleared. I said, but you got the names for more than 96 hours. Which 48 hours are you referring to? He said, please don't go. Ask your embassy in Cairo to speak to them today in the morning and get more details about the date and the time. He said, I can do that for you also, but it's faster if they do it from that side. But please don't go. Your trip will be wasted. So I said, but last week you gave an approval number to DERCO. The number said that a cargo plane can land in Egypt. It said the supplies, meaning the ambulance, equipment and medicines, can come to Rafah. And it said 10 personnel can go, only names to be supplied. And it even said that you should take this approval number and present it at Rafah for us to cross the border, and the names will supply to you on Friday. So what are you referring to?
So, Doctor, the Egyptian authorities, have you spoken to them in the interim?
Well, he's the one that represents Egypt. He's the face of Egypt in South Africa. And this morning, the guy called Henny, who works in the embassy, I was there in the embassy, I met all the staff yesterday with my team, and then Henny was not there. But this morning we called him. We said, this is what the Egyptian ambassador said, that we need to, phone those people. He said you would know who to speak to in Egyptian international relations. So I said, I spoke to them yesterday. What do you remember the Egyptian guy is telling me to do? I already did that yesterday. I asked them about the names, but anyway, I'm calling them now again. So he phoned them and he called me back. He said, I spoke to the second lady in charge. The first lady was not there. And I told the lady, what's the story? What's the delay? So the lady said, we need time. We only got the list yesterday. So I said, what do you mean you got the list yesterday? You got the list last week Friday from the embassy. So she agreed that she did get the names last week Friday. So I'm not sure if this is a stalling tactic, a delaying tactic. Is it obstruction, or they're going to deny us outright, entry into Gaza? And the reason I say that is based on other information.
No.
Malaysian team.
Yes, carry on, Doctor. Carry on, Doctor.
The Malaysian team was given verbal permission and written permission. They were not stopped on the way. They went all the way to Rafah. And when they got there, they said, you can't go in. After giving things in writing, they were sent back. Yesterday we were told, we just got information about half an hour ago, that a Kuwaiti team went and they were given permission, and an Omani team went. We're not sure if they were given permission, but the Kuwaiti team, we know they were given permission. They got to the border, and again, they were told, you can't enter, you must go back.
Now that there's a ceasefire, one would have thought your entry into Gaza would be much easier.
Especially since Egypt brokered it. And they said they left the siege, so I don't understand that. And when they cross-checked on inside, they said nothing has arrived. When the medical ministry said on the other side, on the ground, they said nothing has changed. The border is still closed on the Israeli side and on the Egyptian side. In terms of medical supplies, nothing is coming, as far as they can see. I don't know, the UN says they took some food in, but he couldn't comment on that. He didn't know. But he said in terms of the medical side, nothing has come through.
How dire is the need for those medical supplies in Gaza, Doctor?
Well, all I can tell you is I'm getting a lot of calls from Palestinian people. I don't know who they are. I don't know how they got my number. I don't know how they know I'm in Cairo. I don't even know how they know that we're coming in. Because I'm not expecting them to follow South African news. So I don't know how they know. But everyone who has called me, and my representative is a guy called Dr. Malik, who's been in Cairo from the first day of the war, and he's been doing all the arrangements here. He's been getting many calls also, and they said, where's the medical team? Where's the medical supplies? We need you desperately. Please come. We're waiting for you. This morning, a guy I know well said, where are you? I said, I'm still in Cairo. He said, what do you mean you're still in Cairo? I thought you're in the border already. I said, no, we couldn't come.
So what's the next step now, Doctor?
So many people are calling, we're waiting.
So what's the next step now, Doctor?
Now, well, Henry has called the Egyptian relations people. I'm going to get Deco again to speak to the Egyptian ambassador in South Africa, and we're going to wait to see what their response is.
Doctor, will you please keep us updated on the impasse there? Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman joining us on the line from Egypt. Now, staying in Egypt, but before we go, there's another story that we're going to cover, so you have to stay tuned. We're going to talk about the ceasefire in Egypt as well as ISIS.